Lots of individuals tend to get really intimidated when they think about etiquette. They think it's a bunch of rules that you have to follow that just makes you feel uncomfortable. Well, that's not the case. Etiquette is really about putting others at ease and making sure that you're thinking first before you speak or before you act. It's really important that you use the 3 core values of good manners to make sure that you're practicing good etiquette every day. Do you want to know what our 3 core values are? Well, it's very simple. Our 3 core values of good manners are respect, honesty, and consideration. Let's start off with respect. Now, I know you've heard this word before. More often than not, your parents probably use it at home, and you've surely perhaps heard it at school, and maybe even when you're out and about. But I'd like for you to help me. Take a moment and write down at least 2 different instances where you have to use respect. The first one I'd like for you to write down is give me an example of using respect when you're at home with your family or maybe with your parents. Next, give me an example of when you would use respect at school. But how about respect towards your friends at school? Now give me an example of using honesty when you're out and about. Now, out and about, that means when you're out with your family, perhaps you're at a restaurant or at the library, or maybe even going into the grocery store. When is a good instance to use honesty when you're out and about? Now, consideration is a big word, and sometimes it might be a little bit difficult to understand. So let's just break this down a little bit. A good example of consideration is to not do or say anything that might make someone feel badly. A few examples could be make someone feel bad or sad or embarrassed or very angry. That's consideration. It's important that you think about what you're going to say before you say it, so this way you don't hurt someone's feelings. And you think about what you're going to do before you do it, so this way you don't make someone feel upset or really embarrassed. Can you give me an example of consideration? That's a great example. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, we've gone over the 3 core values of good manners: respect, honesty, and consideration. We've learned a lot. Now I'd like for you to take all 3 of these core values and give me an example by writing a story. I'd like for you to write a story about a boy or a girl who woke up in the morning and went throughout their day and practiced all 3 of our core values: respect, honesty, and consideration. Will you take some time and write out a story about respect, honesty, and consideration? And keep in mind, this person can use any one of these 3 core values when they're at school, at home, or when they're out and about. All right, here we go.